Also, speaking of Joe Biden, he's at it again. He just doesn't quite get it, does he? He was, I guess, maybe confused. We'll give him that. We'll give him the excuse of being confused. Once again, he was speaking with Yahoo Business News when Joe Biden claimed that inflation was at 9% when he took office. Now, we all know that's not the case. Joe Biden is parading around the country now, trying to convince the American people that his administration has been highly successful. He often speaks of Bidenomics and how Bidenomics is working, how it has turned the economy around. He loves to talk about the job growth. Now, he fails to mention that when he assumed office, unemployment was at a record low because of the pandemic, this thing called COVID, where businesses had literally shut down and people had lost their jobs. So for Joe Biden to pretend that Bidenomics is the reason that those jobs have come back is just totally ludicrous. You and I know that. But some of the low information voters, if you will, may not know that. They may buy his story. Who knows? But Joe Biden also likes for you to think that he has been fighting hard to lower inflation. Well, we got the new inflation numbers today as well. And through April, for the 37th month, inflation was much higher than the 2% Fed Reserve target that the Biden administration has set. It's 3.5%. So let's just kind of look at what Joe Biden said here. Once again, he repeated this false claim that inflation was at 9% when he took office. He was speaking with Yahoo Finance about his newly announced tariffs on China when Biden was defending his handling of the economy while acknowledging the impact that inflation has on Americans. This is cut number 7.
I think inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came in, and it's now down around 3%.
It's gone slightly up, but has come down from the 9%. How can he stand there and say that, knowing that there are going to be people like me and even the other networks, even CNN and others have called him out on this, knowing he's going to be fact-checked? Inflation was at 1.4%.
No president
1.4%. When Biden took the oath of office in January of 2021. It peaked at 9% in June of 2022. And as I mentioned, as of April, it remained at 3.5%, 37 months in a row that it's been above the 2% target rate. Biden made the same claim just last week as he was talking with CNN's Erin Burnett when she asked him about inflation. Just like Mr. Sazi on Yahoo Business, Erin Burnett did not challenge him either. In cut number 8, he again talked about inflation being at 9% when he assumed office.
No president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9% when I came to office.
It was 9% when I came to office. No president has had the run of creating jobs. Joe Biden really thinks he created those jobs. Joe Biden forgets that he was sworn into office as we were trying to get out of a pandemic. And a lot of people had lost their jobs simply because the government, a lot of his Democrat-run states, had shut businesses down and had forced people to lose their jobs. Several media outlets fact-checked Biden's comments. Snopes gave it a false rating. According to factcheck.com, a White House official explained that Biden was trying to convey contributing factors to inflation like the supply chain crisis, which had already been occurring before Biden took office. But again, the supply chain crisis was because of COVID, because of the pandemic. He faced renewed criticism on social media yesterday for lying, because that's what he does. When he stands there, when Joe Biden says inflation was at 9% when I assumed office, because he wants you to think that the 3.5% that we have right now is good, when again, it's actually above what the target rate is at 2%. It's 1.5% above what it should be. And a lot higher than the 1.4% that Donald Trump handed to Joe Biden when he took office. Representative Jim Banks, in response to this, said all Biden does is lie. Washington Examiner editor-in-chief Hugo Gurdon wrote, Dems wonder why the message isn't working. It's because the message is that Dems think voters are fools. And that is the truth, isn't it? Joe Biden believes that we're stupid. Joe Biden believes that we're not going to catch on to his little smoke and mirrors here. I guess Joe Biden believes that we're going to just take whatever he says
Iowa
to a
farmers
news
have been
organization
crushed
because they never challenge him. And he just thinks that, well, the American people, they'll believe what I say. If I put out a video on X, they'll believe it. GOP strategist Logan Dobson said, used to be very important for all the very serious democracy defenders to denounce the president when he tells outright lies. Used to be. And that's it. We've sort of become immune to it, haven't we? We've sort of just gotten to the point that we're numb to Joe Biden's lies. Polls continue to show that Biden is trailing President Trump in a lot of the key swing states, particularly on issues impacting voters like the economy. You always go back to James Carville's "It's the economy, stupid," because that's the main issue. Yeah, we are all concerned about immigration, about the southern border. We're concerned about a lot of things. We're concerned primarily, though, about how it affects us each individually. We're concerned about how the inflation has eaten away at our buying power. I was talking with a friend yesterday. We're talking about some gift cards for groceries. And there's a nonprofit group that I do some work with, and we give away $100 gift cards to a local grocery chain in the upstate of South Carolina, Ingalls. It happens to be one of my favorite grocery stores. And if you're in the upstate of South Carolina, western North Carolina, if you're listening to us on News Talk 98.9, WORD, the voice of the Carolinas, you're very familiar with Ingalls. And we're talking about how Ingalls would give $100 gift cards to first responders. At one time, $100 would buy you a good amount of groceries. Now, when you walk in with that $100 gift card, you don't get quite so much. And that's because of Bidenomics. I don't care what Joe Biden tells you, that $100, when you go to a grocery store now, and it used to fill your grocery basket up, now it's half the amount. That's Bidenomics at work. That's Bidenomics at its finest. And we have to hold Joe Biden accountable come November.